Hey there, Sovereigns. Monica Grace from cardreadingqueen.com here. Today's content is what Megan Fox got right and wrong about twin flames. And this content, I'm recording it out of order. You'll see it pretty much immediately. So whenever you're seeing this, I recorded it the night before and published it directly, which is unusual for me because I usually record ahead of time. I wanted to talk about this because it is news and I've started to see some stories like this lately. And what it is that twin flames, the concept of twin flames, which, as you know, if you're a regular listener to my channel, I call it twin souls. And so it's the same exact thing. I just use the term twin soul instead. And I will explain that in this piece of content. So twin flames are they're penetrating pop culture, basically. The concept is. And what we're seeing, so as this concept that was once, just deeply in spiritual communities and really not even understood very well in spiritual communities, which that is shifting now, but it's actually taken years for this to even be understood very well. It is starting to shift into just regular culture, and it's starting to become a term that people have heard of, similar to a soulmate. So that is very exciting for me. I am excited to see that happen. I know there is an article coming out in Vanity Fair soon about twin flames as well. And then, as of today, Megan Fox is she's talking about twin flames in response to, or in relation to, her new relationship with Machine Gun Kelly, who is he's a rapper, and she is an actress, probably best known for the Transformers franchise, though that was years and years ago. So I wanted to just share what she has been saying about twin flames, because she's starting to do a lot of interviews, and they've been talking about it more. They've just been putting stuff out about their relationship on the web, and they're doing a lot of promo right now. So they're doing a lot of interviews. So they've been talking about it more, and then I can feel that the term is bubbling up. So I talked about the Vanity Fair article, I talked about Megan Fox. Another thing is that I think it's Norah Jones just put out a song called Flame Twin. I don't know why it's called Flame Twin, but it has like Runner Chaser, and it's kind of like a keyword stuffed song that's just all about twin flames, and they don't really know what they're talking about. They just put a bunch of like phrases in a song. And then Selena Gomez released a song very recently called Past Life. And so that's another thing that has kind of trickled into pop culture. So it's, I think at first I was, especially with the Norah Jones song, I was a little like, eye roll, because it felt like it was trying to capitalize on something that it didn't understand. But I do overall think that this is a great thing for the twin flame community, because it just means that the idea of this journey is going to become more and more understood and more accepted as time goes on. So in the next couple years, this is really going to be something that people understand, and it's not going to be this weird fringe thing that some people are doing kind of behind the scenes and, talking about on YouTube, basically, and not really seeing it anywhere else. So very exciting. So what I wanted to do in this content is just talk about Megan Fox's interview, what she said specifically, and then talk about what I think she's getting right and what I think she is getting wrong about twin flames. And I'm not making this video to tell, people what their relationship is. That's not my goal. So if this doesn't, let's face it, you're not Megan Fox listening to this, but Megan Fox, if you are listening to this, feel free to have your own definition and, explore your own relationship however you would like. So it's not to like say something is wrong or like what they're feeling is wrong. It's not to hurt anyone's feelings. It's also not to say like my word is law. So if you disagree with me on this, then feel free to make your own video, feel free to leave a comment. All of that is perfectly great with me. I wanted to share my own take on it so that you could take from it what resonates and also discard whatever doesn't. So the first thing that Megan Fox said in this interview, and it's a very short interview, so there's not going to be that much to dissect here. But the first thing she said was that when she found out that she was doing a movie with Machine Gun Kelly, she felt very like, very nervous because she could feel deep in her soul already that something big was going to come out of this. So she was like, oh, there's like some trouble brewing basically. And she could feel that she was going to have this connection. So her soul basically knew ahead of time, before she even met Machine Gun Kelly, that she had some sort of connection to him. And then once they started working together, she knew he was her twin flame, according to her and her own definition of it. And she just straight up told him. So she was like, you're my twin flame. I can feel this connection. And she was very upfront about it. And he did, I guess he did return the feelings, and now they're in a relationship that appears to be fairly new. So they've worked together on a couple projects, and so now, they're in this relationship and just kind of exploring it right now. So what I wanted to say about this is that from what I have read about them as a couple, and from the videos that I've seen, I would have to agree with Megan Fox that they do have some sort of soul connection. And so who am I to really say like what their connection is? And again, it's, if it doesn't resonate, I'm totally fine with that. I just want to share what I think. So I do definitely think they have some sort of deep soul connection just from watching them. And, something I've learned to do in the last couple of years is to really see people's energies as well. So like you look at their energies separately and together, and you can see that there's definitely something magnetic about the two of them being together. The one thing I want to say about this, looking at it from an outside perspective, is really that, obviously they feel a connection to each other. They feel that deep connection, and that's great. As an outside observer, I can also see their connection energetically. And it's not that the two of them are attracted to each other, because that can happen for all sorts of reasons. That doesn't mean you have like this deep soul connection. But it's really that, so it's not about the connection they feel for each other. It's really the reflection they are of each other. And that's how I can tell that they have a soul connection as an outsider, is because I can look at each one of them and kind of see their energies, and then see that those energies are reflected in the other. So this is a really important tip if you're trying to see who your twin soul is, or your twin flame. Same thing. It's, you may initially feel that connection, but you also want to be able to see yourself in that other person. And I think some people kind of miss that part, that the two souls are reflections of each other. So the two people, they need to be similar, and that similarity between them should be observable to the outside. So it should be like, oh, like I can see why you're attracted to him, because you guys are the same. That's what it should feel like. And it should feel like really similar energies. So the second thing she says, so I agree with her on that. Now here's where I disagree with her. So she explains this in the interview, what twin flames are. And she says, instead of a soulmate, a twin flame is actually where a soul has ascended into a high enough level that it can be split into two different bodies at the same time. So we're actually two halves of the same soul, I think. And I said that to him almost immediately because I felt it right away. So that's her quote. So I'm going to break this down of how I think of this. So the first thing is she says, instead of a soulmate, a twin flame is actually where a soul has ascended to a high enough level. This to me is not how twin souls work at all. The truth to me is that twin flames are not actually different than soulmates. It's a personal connection. So I'm not, for example, a twin flame and not a soulmate. In truth, I'm a twin flame to my twin flame, and I'm a soulmate to everyone else, or to, other people I connect with. So it's not a hierarchy of like, oh, here's a soulmate and then here's a twin flame, and that person or that couple is more ascended. It's really about like, you have a twin flame. So and it really comes down to the law of attraction. So if you desire a deep romance with your perfect person, your ideal lover, your ideal romance, then by the law of attraction, that already exists out there for you. And all you have to do is heal the separation between you and it. So everybody who desires to have a twin flame has a twin flame. Everybody, and then you would be the twin flame of that person. And then as far as soulmates go, soulmate could be like anybody else in the world that you feel a soul connection to, but that person is not your twin flame. So then she says that we're actually two halves of the same soul, I think. And this, I also don't think this is the way twin souls works. So I wanted to talk about what that is. So what are twin flames, or what are twin souls? What does that couple look like? And why is that connection there? So one part of that is the law of attraction, which I already explained. But then how it works is, the way I think of it is really, it's similar to like identical twins on Earth. So if you are born as an identical twin, you're basically created at nearly the exact same time as your twin. And then the two of you are not, you're not two halves of one person, but you are basically carbon copies of the same DNA, right? So, so the same way identical twins share, they share physical DNA, like their physical DNA is copies of each other. It's the same way with the twin souls, or twin flames. And that's why I actually call them twin souls, is because instead of it being the physical DNA, it's actually the soul DNA, or like the spiritual DNA is how I would think of that. So twin souls, they have basically a carbon copy of their soul DNA. So at the 5D, they are twins. With identical twins here, they are twins in the 3D, because it's a physical thing. So to me, that's why when you look at twin souls, they are still individual people, but they basically have the same soul DNA. So they're carbon copies of each other at that soul level. And so that, similar to the identical twins, like identical twins, they may look, almost exactly the same, but they can have very different personalities. They can respond to things differently because they are their own people still. It's the same with twin souls. So they are their own people still. They have their own thoughts. They have their own feelings. They have their different ways of approaching things, but at the soul level, it's all the same. Like they came with the same soul DNA, soul blueprint, it's sometimes called. And so that's very important if you are on this twin soul journey, to know that you can look very different from your twin, physically, but also personality wise almost. And still, that could still be your twin soul. So that's really everything that I wanted to say about this. I hope it was helpful to you, and I'll definitely continue to follow some of the media around twin flames because I can feel it heating up. And it's very exciting to me. It's definitely why I'm getting my books out now, because I want people to have this information so that they know, what this is, especially if they decide to pursue their twin flame. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.
Wishing you could get solid information on how to navigate your twin soul journey? Make sure you check out my book related to this episode called Your Twin Soul Journey, A Guide to Experience Eternal, Unconditional, Harmonious, Embodied Love and Union with Your Divine Partner. In the book, you'll learn the cornerstone concepts you must understand to embark on this journey, the truth about the twin soul stages, and my own personal roadmap to finding your unique way through this journey, how to heal quickly through any separation blocks you are facing on your twin soul journey, and answers to all your most pressing questions about twin soul purpose, twin soul telepathy, and twin soul myths. You can find the book, Your Twin Soul Journey, at all the major retailers, or find links in the description to learn more. And don't forget to check out the rest of the books in the Twin Soul Hearts and Union series.